What up, Cooks? It's your boy, the hater, and ask and you shall receive. Here it is, the long awaited, full frontal, ultimate WWE roster review tier list. The rules are as follows. I found a list of all the wrestlers in WWE 2K24, which has a lot of wrestlers. And we're going to rank most of them. Like, we're not going to rank, for example, fucking, I don't know, Devon. Actually, we probably will rank Devon. But we're not going to rank like Bruno Sammartino. Actually, you know what? Maybe we will, cucks. So let's get to it, Now, I think I can recognize most of these jobbers, but I'm not 100% sure. We've got categories of superstar, potentially great, mid-carder, jobber, and fire immediately. Exclamation point up in this mug. Now, with all this being said, the actual ranking within each category is not going to matter, right? We're just going to have the wrestlers and characters put in one of the categories, and the order within the category makes no difference. AJ Styles is number one, motherfucks. Obviously, everybody knows AJ Styles is a superstar. I don't think anybody can deny that. AJ Styles, one of my personal favorite wrestlers of all time. I mean, it's really that simple. I really like AJ Styles. God damn it, what is this? Nothing. I really like AJ Styles. I always have. In my opinion, AJ Styles embodies everything that a professional is about. So I'm very happy that AJ Styles is on this list and that I can put him as high as I have because he is legit. So with all that being said, don't get too excited. Just because AJ Styles is here doesn't mean that we're going to have a lot of people here. As a matter of fact, I have a feeling there's going to be very few people under superstar. Next up, Akira Tozawa. I always talk about Akira Tozawa. And in my opinion, Akira Tozawa could potentially be great. I was going to put him at mid-carder, but I think that Tozawa there's something there. Like, he's in good shape. He's a small guy. He could have like a nice Spike Dudley role. And I think Spike Dudley is great. So I'm going to put him there. Then we've got, I believe her name is Alba Fire. I've never been entertained by her, so she's going to go swiftly into the fire immediately category. Alexa Bliss, okay, she's, I don't know. This is a difficult one. Potentially great, we're going to say, for Alexa, because she's not exactly like, a superstar, but I might change my mind. She might go to superstar. I like Alexa Bliss, but she is overrated at the same time, right? Like, there's a spot here for her, but like, when they have her beat like Nia Jax and shit like that, it's absurd. This is not Duke Hudson, but the other guy, Andre Chase. This guy definitely goes on the fire immediately. I don't like Chase U at all. They're boring. Andre the Giant. Okay. I mean, I don't like Andre the Giant, to be completely honest. So obviously we can put him in fire immediately, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I think he's gonna stay here, like in the dead people and like shit like that category. Some of them we might put in there if like they're underrated or something, but Andre the Giant, like I don't think he's a superstar. I don't think he's especially great. If he was around today, I'd put him in the same category as Omos, if I'm being honest. So there you have it. Angel Garza. Fire immediately. I mean, Angel Garza has some redeeming qualities, but it's like you don't need him and Humberto, right? You don't need both of them. So as a result, some of them have to go. Fire immediately. Angelo Dawkins, he can be a jobber. He can stay there as a jobber. Apollo Crews, I think personally, is potentially great. That's probably going to be controversial, but I like Apollo Crews. I think he brings a lot to the table, actually, especially when he had that like African gimmick, right? Where he was like, like in my tribe, like this and that and this, that really showed some character work. And I think we have here Ashanti the Adonis. Nothing against the kid, but it needs to go. Then we've got Asuka. Okay, Asuka is a superstar. Like, let's be honest. Asuka, for all the shit that I talk about her, Asuka is a high-level female wrestler, not because of her moves or anything like that, because she does suck too. Yeah, let's put her potentially great. Superstar is stretching it. But Asuka, I do like the fact that she doesn't speak English, but that's somehow part of her character now. You know what I mean? I really thought that's great, so we're going to put her there. And you know what? Since Andre the Giant keeps hanging out here, we'll put him at mid-carder. That's where I think Andre the Giant belongs. I don't think there's anything special about him, to be honest. Austin Theory, he's a jobber. Let's be honest. He had if we did this like last year or the year before, he'd be here and potentially great. But he went from wrestling Cena to losing to Tommaso Ciampa. So I think he's lucky to be here instead of fucking here. You know what I'm saying? Then we've got the Red Power Ranger. Fire him immediately. I believe that's Axiom. I'm basing it. It's clearly in alphabetical order. So like it must be Axiom. He looks like the Red Ranger. Fire immediately. There's nothing there. His finishing move is like a running kick. Like, we have enough running kick finishers. Who the fuck's this guy? Bad Bunny? All right, Bad Bunny. Like in terms of what he is, like he's obviously a reggaeton superstar, but we're not gonna do that. He's a mid-carder. For what he is, he's a level 3. This is like, you can think of this as like C tier, right? Or I guess S tier, A tier, B tier. Bad Bunny, I think, is like a good special attraction. He's done things that he didn't need to do, but he did them anyway. So good for him. Baron Corbin. He's a big guy with some pedigree. He retired Kurt Angle, so I'll put him in jobber. I know you're thinking, Baron Corbin's NXT run has been great. I don't give a flying fuck. He's lucky I don't put him in fire immediately. You know what? As a matter of fact, fuck him. Fire immediately. Baron Corbin's had too many chances. It's time to give someone else a chance up in this bitch. Batista, obviously a superstar. Goes without saying. Bayley, jobber. I don't see the big deal about her at all. I don't see why she's held to a higher regard than, I don't know, fucking Sasha Banks or than Roxanne Perez or anything like that. So I don't give a flying fuck. Becky Lynch, jobber. Same thing as Becky. I don't want to see them on TV anymore. Asuka, I could see Asuka, but I don't need to see any of these two broads. There's another Becky Lynch, so another jobber we have here. Whatever. Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix, obviously a superstar. I love Beth Phoenix. When I was younger, I didn't really like her, but she's one of those wrestlers that I think grew on me as time went on. I realized how great Beth Phoenix was. Okay, this is the deluxe version of Bianca Belair and the other Bianca Belair. So we're going to count them as one. She's a mid-carder. Let's be real. Big Boss Man, mid-carder. Big Boss Man, you can't put him as a jobber. He had a long and valued career. Big E. Either here or here. Definitely not potentially great. We're going to put him in mid-carder. I think he's closer to Big Boss Man than he is to, Angelo Dawkins, right? Angelo Dawkins, he can stay there. Blair Davenport, she hasn't gotten a chance yet, so we'll put her on jobber. But, I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this, we're at fire immediately, motherfucks. Then we've got Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley is potentially great. He's above, Big E and Big Boss Man, but he's nothing crazy. He's not on the level of AJ Styles or Batista. He could have been, but he ain't. The Boogeyman. He doesn't work there, but I'd put him in as a mid-carder. I think the Boogeyman, I always thought the Boogeyman could have made an interesting mid-card champion. Booker T, sucker, obviously a superstar, goes without saying. That's one of the easiest decisions ever. Braun Strowman, mid-carder. I don't think Braun Strowman's ever going to be this big star, so mid-carder it is. Bray Wyatt, he did have the potential to be great. I'm not going to lie. And we're going to put, all of the Bray Wyatts here, I guess. This is the worst one by far. But all the Bray Wyatts, they had the potential to be great. He did work hard at what he was doing, even though what he was doing was boring. Bret Hart, in my opinion, one of the most overrated wrestlers of all time. He's going to be a mid-carder. He's a multiple-time champion. But I've always thought Bret Hart was boring. His matches are boring. His promos are boring. I don't like Bret Hart. So same thing with this. British Bulldog, motherfuckers. I like the British Bulldog. I'm going to put him at potentially great. Braun Breaker, he's a superstar in the making. But he's not a superstar yet, so he has to go there. Bronson Reed, he's a mid-carder. There's something there. He's a fat jobber, but there's something there. This guy, who the fuck is this guy? It must be Brooks Jensen, because that's what comes after Bronson Reed. I think he's been fired, so we're going to put him in fired. Nothing special about him. Bruno Sammartino, jobber. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if Bruno Sammartino won 19 titles. Nobody watched back then. It was just a bunch of big Italian dudes wearing black tights and just doing bear hugs. So in my opinion, he's a jobber. I'm not going to say fire immediately out of respect, but he's a jobber. Brutus Creed, potentially great. That goes without saying. Okay, from now on, the superstar thing has to be a little bit loose because we're good for now, but we're gonna have to move Braun Breaker there. There's no way around it. It's I can't in good conscience put Braun Breaker in the same category as fucking Brutus or as Apollo Creed. I can't. So there you have it. Bully Ray, Bubba Ray, obviously a superstar, a legend. Pete Dunne, fire immediately. There's nothing special about Pete Dunne, right? He's never cut a good promo. He's never done anything that no one else can do. So he gets to go here with Axiom where he belongs. Cactus Jack, legend. I mean, Mick Foley's a legend. There's no doubt about it. Cameron Grimes, potentially great. I like Cameron Grimes. Fucking, what's her face? What's his girl's name? Johnny Gargano's wife. I forget her name now. Fire immediately. Candice LeRae, fire immediately. Carlito, fire immediately. I don't have time for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Carlito came back, hasn't done anything, so he needs to go. Who's this? Looks like Britt Baker. Oh, Carmella. I have to use the alphabetical stuff to keep me in check. Carmella, potentially great. I have always liked Carmella. Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes, I think when it's all said and done, he's going to be a jobber, to be honest. I don't see him doing anything special, right? I don't see him reaching the heights of Big E or anything like that. He might have one title run in him, but I have a feeling he's a jobber, he might become an Intercontinental Champion, but then again, Austin Theory was U.S. champion, and look where he is. He's a jobber. He's never going to be this big star. Cedric Alexander, potentially great. A potentially great mid-carder, that is. I think Cedric Alexander should have been, and if they still push him, should be a mid-carder. He's worked really hard, and if you compare him to someone like Carmelo Hayes, there's nothing that Carmelo Hayes has over him, but there's a few things that Cedric Alexander has over someone like Carmelo Hayes. For example, the indie, work hard story, right? He's busted his ass in ROH being a jobber, so I think he should be rewarded for that a little bit more. Chad Gable, potentially great. He's definitely not a star by any means. Channing Stax Lorenzo, I believe it is. I like him, so he's going to go there. What is this? WrestleMania 40. There's a bunch of Charlottes. Okay, we're going to put Charlotte is definitely a mid-carder. Charlotte is a legend at this point. Yeah, we can't really say otherwise. She's a 15-time women's champion. She's my favorite women's wrestler probably. So, I can't say China. Never mind. China's my favorite women's wrestler. Cut. China goes here under superstar. This is going to get fat. It's going to get fat as fuck. Look how much we've got. Jesus Christ. All right. CM Punk, mid-carder. I've never understood why CM Punk has been treated like a superstar his whole career. Okay, here we're going to do something interesting. Undashing Cody Rhodes, potentially great. Cody Rhodes, mid-carder, motherfuckers. This is different because I personally prefer this Cody Rhodes a lot more than this Cody Rhodes. This is Cora. It must be Cora Jade. Cora Jade's going to be a jobber because, to be honest, I don't know anything about her. So, actually, never mind. I don't know anything about her, but I have seen her wrestle, which means she must be fired immediately, right? Cruz del Toro, as I've always said, and I'm consistent about it. He's my favorite of his kind of wrestler, the Latino jobber. He's my favorite. Dakota Kai, fire immediately. It's not even close. Damian Priest, potentially great. All things considered, Damian Priest is not bad. You know what I mean? Then we've got, I believe, Damian Kemp. He's going to get fired immediately. Dexter Lumis, I wish I could have put him as a superstar. He's definitely potentially great, though. DDP. I love DDP, but he is potentially great. So everyone that's potentially great or a superstar, we're going to keep, right? Let's do that. Let's make that clear right here up in this bitch. Keep. Why did they do it like that? That's annoying. Keep. All right. We're going to keep these people, and obviously we're going to keep these people. See if I can fix this shit. There we go. Keep. So there you have it. I mean, okay, if I do that, it makes it like that for some reason. So, you can't really do that. But we're going to have keep, and we're going to have keep here. Mid-carder, this is where we, I don't know. Keep maybe release, depending on the situation. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, let's continue. Diesel, I believe, or Kevin Nash. We're going to put him where he belongs, and that is a legend. Kevin Nash rules. Dijakovic definitely needs to be kept. Potentially great. Mid-carder, here it's some of these like we would keep, and some of these we wouldn't keep. Like obviously we're gonna keep Cody Rhodes. We're not gonna fire him, right? We're gonna keep CM Punk because of his star power, right? We're gonna keep Bronson Reed, but we're not gonna keep like, I mean, we're gonna all these people they're kind of like more keep than not, but some of them like might be like yeah, because you know what, it needs to be keep, right? Because we need mid carders. It's as simple as that. Jobbers and fire immediately are the ones that need to go. So let's just write that here. Fire. I don't like how this thing like fucks it all up, motherfucks. And I'll do like this. Get wrecked. And obviously fire immediately is fired. So Doink the Clown never understood it. Fire immediately. Actually, no, he has a gimmick, so we'll put him in mid-carder. We'd keep him. If he was around today, we'd keep him. Dominic Mysterio. I can't put him as a superstar because he's not a superstar yet. But if there was any kind of ranking here, he would be number one amongst this second category. What is this? Is this Rey Mysterio or some fucking other asshole? I don't know who this is. Who is this guy? Dominic. What's that for Dominic? Diabolico. So it's between the words Dominic Mysterio and Drew Gulak. Who is this guy? He's a DLC. He might be like some Japanese jobber. I don't know. We'll leave this guy here for now until I kind of figure it out. Then we got Drew Gulak, fired immediately, like nothing there. Drew McIntyre, he's as close to a superstar as we have today, so he's got to go there. Dude Love, obviously. Mick Foley, again, what the hell? Superstar cuck. Superstar. Duke Hudson, fired immediately. I mean, like, no, I'm going to do it. Fire immediately. You know what? Like, I'm sick and tired of people pretending that Dusty Rhodes was this great, entertaining wrestler. He was fucking a fat man dancing. He's basically just another Rikishi, right? He's overrated as fuck, and I don't like him. What do you think of them apples? Devon, obviously a legend, goes without saying. Latino Heat. I'm not even sure which Eddie Guerrero I like more because they're both awesome. This is like the Mamacita, Eddie Guerrero, and this is the we lie, we cheat, we steal, you know? The Viva la Raza. They were both great. So I'm a big fan. What the fuck is this guy? What wrestler is in the DLC and their name starts with a D? Oh, I wish like I'd done this video live or something so someone could fucking tell me who this is. But I didn't do it live, so kiss my ass, motherfucks. But we'll try to figure it out by Googling the DLC and going from there. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It just sucks to have him there. You know what I mean? It's kind of annoying. But what can you do, right? What can you do up in this bitch? All right. Let's say I found it here. Oh, Mosh and Thrasher are going to be part of the DLC. That is so weird. Sensational Sherry, Sandman. No, it's none of these guys. Pat McAfee, Ty Schmid. Who the fuck is Ty Schmid? AJ Hawk is going to be in. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Jade Cargill, Nia Jax, Carlito, Dragon Lee. Oh, he's Dragon Lee. Oh, okay, fucking fire his ass. He didn't give a flying fuck. Beat it, jobber. One of the pretty deadly guys, fired immediately. Eric Bischoff, overrated in every capacity. Okay. Jobber fired. Like, there's no redeeming qualities to Raymond Rowe, whatever the fuck his name is here. Eric, what is this? Is this Eve? This must be Eve. Eve is great. So Eve goes to potentially great. Farouk, potentially great. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Farouk is a legend. He's not. Let's be real. Like, he's just part of the tag team with JBL, and then JBL had a Hall of Fame career separately from the APA. Ron Simmons is the first, like, black NWA champion. Now, nobody knew that. Nobody cared, and nobody ever respected it until he retired, right? Like, they would never mention that he was a world heavyweight champion when he was jobbing with, like, Reverend Devon. You know what I'm saying? So get the fuck out of here. He's not on the same level as JBL. He's not on the same level as Devon. He's not on the same level as Booker T or Batista or AJ Styles or China. He's just not. Like, let's be real. Who is this, broad? Finn Balor. And somewhere between Farouk and fucking... It must be that Fallon Henley girl. I didn't even know she was in the game. But I don't know if it is Fallon Henley. I'm going to Google Fallon Henley on my phone to make sure that it's her. Fallon Henley, is it? Henley? Henley. Fallon Henley. Yeah, it looks enough like her. It must be her. All right, Finn Balor. he doesn't contribute anything. Like, what's the difference between him and JD McDonough? So he's going into job or fire. This must be George the Animal Steel. To be honest, I don't know anything about George Animal Steel. I didn't watch wrestling back then. So as far as I'm concerned, he's going to go into the job. Well, I guess I'll put him here because he made it to a game like 30 years after like he stopped wrestling. He's going to go there. Gigi Dolan. I don't see the big deal. Fire her. Giovanni Vinci. This has Cesaro written all over it. Fire him. Grayson Waller. There should be like another category here for like absolute like masterful jobber or AKA Grayson Waller category. He needs to go there. Gunther, jobber. I don't like him. I can't. I would rather have any of these guys than Gunther. You know what I mean? I don't think Gunther's ever going to draw a dime, so I don't give a fuck. Harley Race, another one. I refuse to believe this guy was good. I don't know anything about him. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, that's what you get with the hater. With the hater, you get the truth. I'm not going to sit here and be like, whoa, Harley Race versus, Greg the Hammer Valentine was a 10-star classic. I never saw Harley Race wrestle, but look at him. I'm not gonna even entertain the possibility that this guy was entertaining. Fuck out of here. Mosh and Thrasher. All right. Mid-carders. For what they were, Mosh and Thrasher were pretty good. I'm glad they're getting a shot to be in this game. Honky Tonk Man, same thing. Jobber, fire. Never really got to see him wrestle. Okay, obviously, this is like the easiest one. Hollywood Hulk Hogan goes there. Hulkamania goes there. And the most modern version of Hulk Hogan goes there as well, obviously. Humberto Carrillo, fired immediately. I mean, Ilya Dragunov, like, I want to give him a chance, but I don't see what this guy has to offer. So he's going to go here and jobber fire, right? So, like, these jobber fire, like, Angel Dawkins needs to be here, honestly, upon second, thought. Like, he's like the worst wrestler ever. I can't even believe I put him there. No, he needs to be here. This is like, these wrestlers are people that, like, I'll give them one chance, either because they've either achieved something in the past or, like, they haven't gotten a fair enough chance, right? So, for example, or they otherwise show some promise, right? So, like, Carmelo Hayes, like, I don't think this guy's ever going to make it, but he does deserve a chance, so that's why he's not in the fire immediately. These are people that have, like, completely shit the bed or have zero to contribute, such as this woman, Indy Hartwell. The Sheik, I don't know much about the Sheik, but I do like him from the appearances that I have seen, Cucks. This must be, who's this? Iron Sheik. It must be that Isla Dawn girl. I know there's someone called Isla Dawn. She partners with this other girl, I think. So whatever, I don't know anything about her. She's going here. Okay, Ivar. Ivar needs to be a mid-carder, right? He needs to be separated from his jobber-ass tag team partner, Eric, which I'm pretty sure he's right there, right under him, actually. He's better. He's the better of the two. Ivy Nile, fire immediately. This has Marina Shafir written all over it. You know what I mean? It's the same shit again. Who's this? Io Sky, fire immediately. You don't need her. This other one, the partner of Gigi Dolan, fire her. Jade Cargill, obviously, potentially great. Not a superstar yet. Jake the Snake Roberts, mid-carder. I've seen enough of Jake the Snake to know that he's not a superstar, but he shouldn't be fired either if you're out of here. JBL, one of my favorites of all time. Dun, 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 dun. Where'd I put Farouk? Did I put him in jobber or mid-carder? Where'd I put him? Deserves to be. Oh, I put him here. Potentially great. Yeah, Farouk potentially great. Yeah, there's no doubt. Like, the way I'm seeing it for the Legends is like, if Farouk were to be introduced today, he would be potentially great. You know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't be like a superstar, but I'd keep him. JD McDonough. Based on what I said, I have to put him in the same category as Finn Balor. No, actually, he needs to go here because he's had a chance and he hasn't done anything. He's just like a lackey, right? And same thing with Finn Balor, really. Like, he's had a million chances. There's no redeeming qualities for either of them. Jerry the King Lawler, as a wrestler, I don't really care, but I'm also going to consider him holistically. And Jerry the King Lawler is the greatest announcer of all time. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. It's not JR. This is Jay Uso, because that comes alphabetically. It's just me, Us. Day one-ish. He's earned my respect. I can't say anything. What's this guy's name? The Anvil Neidhart. Jerry, Jim, whatever. Fucking Natalia's dad. He goes here. This is difficult, right? Like, I mean, he probably should go here because he contributes to the inevitable reunion of the tag team. But realistically, if he were to be judged by his own merits, he'd be here, motherfucks. Jinder Mahal, obviously potentially great. This is Joaquin Wilde. No, we don't need him. We don't need him and everybody else. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. This is Joaquin. This is Gacy. And this is Joe Coffey. So this guy, jobber, fired. Joe Gacy, fired. He's going to be part of the Bray Wyatt thing. It's going nowhere. Obviously, it goes without saying. Cena. I mean, okay, let's do for Cena. Let's do it normally. This is like the original Cena. Original Cena was boring as shit. He should have been fired. And every other Cena is obviously like a superstar. This is like the best one, obviously, in my opinion. But all of them are superstars. How many fucking Cenas have they got here? Because they put all the stupid ass Cenas that you get like during WrestleMania mode, where you like have that Bray Wyatt match where he comes out wearing 5 different shirts, and this is like 5 different characters for some reason. There you go. Let's put him where he belongs, next to the other Cenas. Fired immediately. This kid I like. He's potentially great. I see something in him. I don't know what it is. Like, he's better than the other partner, obviously. And he's a big, strong kid. They should put him with JBL so you can start using the clothesline more effectively. I love this guy. He needs to go here, potentially great, just along with his brother Brutus. Or Julius and Brutus, they're both great. I don't like how they're being jobbed. Okay, Kyrie's saying fire immediately. There's nothing there. Okay, obviously, goes without saying, Kane, one of my favorites in childhood. Fantastic. Carl Anderson, fire immediately. Karrion Kross, fired immediately. Casey Catanzaro and her partner, we have to put them in the same category because they're the same fucking thing. They have the potential to be decent mid-carders. I think they both offer something. They're both like attractive girls, and they're both athletic. So they need an actual chance. They haven't been given one yet. Who the fuck is this guy? Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock, he was a decent mid-carder. We'll put him there. Kevin Nash, obviously, goes without saying, right there. Kevin Owens, fire immediately. I've had enough of him. Yeah. This other guy, fire him immediately too. Gives a fun fuck. Kofi Kingston, he's a decent mid-carder. I'd keep Kofi around as long as he wants to. Kurt Angle, obviously, goes without saying, like, superstar, legend. L.A. Knight, yeah. And we've got Lex Luthor. I never liked him. Lita. Dun, dun, dun. Where's Lita? Where'd she go? Fucking ass. Shit, where did I drop Lita? Oh, she's right here. But no, Lita is definitely a superstar. What does that say? Also one of the most attractive wrestlers of all time. Liv Morgan. Normally I'd put her here or here, but this last run has been great. I'll put her at mid-carder because she won the title now, so I don't know what else she can do. So we'll see. Then we've got Logan Paul. Logan Paul, potentially great. I can't put him as a superstar because in no way is he on the same level as Cena or Drew McIntyre, but he's good, so we'll keep him there. Ludwig Kaiser. I think he has the makings of a good mid-carder, but like nothing special there. Gallows needs to go. I should know who this girl is, but I don't. So I'm gonna put her. I think it must be Lyra Valkyria, because after Luke, that's the next name I can think of. The Macho Man. Potentially great. I'm not a big Macho Man fan, motherfuckers. Like, I'm in no way I'm gonna put him, for example, on the same level as Mankind. Absolutely not. So let's see here. Who's this guy? Macho Man, and then we have someone with an M. Must be the other coffee guy. Mark Coffey. Fire him immediately. Maurice. Okay, Maurice, when she was around, she was interesting enough. I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is either, to be honest. So fuck them all. Get in there. Give a flying fuck. Mia Yim sucks. There's 2 Molly Hollies. All right. Molly Holly is not a legend. Molly Holly is like a mid-carder. Let's be real. Like, sometimes people get these weird goggles and they're like, oh, Molly Holly was so underrated. No, she wasn't. She was okay. This must be Montez. Bounce. Mr. Perfect. I never understood it. He was a solid mid-carder, but that's about it. Like, people pretend like he was supposed to be this, like, guy that should have been world champion. I don't agree with that. Muhammad Ali, obviously, he's a legend. MVP, No, that was I accidentally pressed that cux. What's going on here? There we go. MVP, it's weird, right? Because it's like MVP, he has to be put here. Unfortunately, like if MVP was in this game as a legend, he would be a very solid mid carder. But we gotta go with MVP as he's presented to us right now, right? And right now, he's a manager who doesn't show up on TV, so he needs to go. He doesn't add anything to the show, But in no way am I saying that MVP sucks. MVP was great when he was great. Natalia needs to go. Nathan Frazier, I speak about him enough. Naya has a lot of potential. Naya has the potential to be like a legit legendary wrestler if she keeps going. Nikki Cross, I can't believe she has a job yet. This is like like Nikita Lyons or whatever. Noam Dar. Now we're getting to the nitty gritty here. Omos, Bounce, Otis. Otis, I put him in potentially great. I like Otis. Pat McAfee, it's like complete disaster. Doudrop, complete disaster. Post Malone, I'm not even gonna entertain this shit. Like, why is he even in there? He's never had a wrestling match in his life. R-Truth, he's gotta be he's a superstar. Like, he should have been like a multiple time champ. Who's this fucker? Oh, is this just another Randy Orton? This is the worst. Like, when Randy Orton first debuted, I was like, this is the worst wrestler I've ever seen in my life. This guy's complete garbage. I hated him with a passion. So that guy should have been fired immediately. However, motherfucks, he went hard, and he can go into potentially great. I know everyone's thinking, Randy Orton is a legend hater. Why don't you put him there? Well, quite frankly, everyone that's here, I'd rather see them than Randy Orton, and that's always been the case. Always. Like, literally always. Like, the only exception might be, like, Charlotte. I can't say I'd want to see Charlotte more than Randy Orton. But that's not Charlotte's fault. That's just because if I see Charlotte, it's going to have to be against, like, fucking Lyra Valkyria or something, so I have to tolerate that. But if it was, like China versus Charlotte, I'd rather see that. Or Charlotte versus Beth Phoenix, I'd rather see that than Randy Orton. Randy Orton, in my opinion, has always been a B-plus player. Like Batista's better than him. But I'm sure there's going to be other B-plus players that are surprising. Raquel Gonzalez, she's fucking shit. I hate her so much. All she does is she comes out looking like this, always with this smile. Why? Razor Ramon, another one. Potential to be great. He's like on the Randy Orton level. I know Randy Orton is like a 15-time world champion, but it doesn't matter. I think Razor Ramon would have been a 15-time world champion if he wrestled right now. Rey Mysterio, that goes without saying, obviously superstar. It's not even close. One of my personal favorites of all time. And then we've got here Rhea Ripley, like the blonde jobber. She goes here. This Rhea Ripley has the potential to be great. I'm not going to say that she's like on the level of Beth Phoenix yet. And I don't care. Oh, they have two of them. Same thing, though. I thought it was the same thing. I'm not going to say that this one or this one is better. Personally, I believe that Rhea Ripley is okay. But, the way people talk about her, they're like, oh, she main evented one of the WrestleMania. So what? China's still better. I don't give a fuck. What do you think of them apples? Rick Rude. I like Rick Rude. Rick Rude, I can't say he's a superstar, but he's definitely potentially great. Rick Steiner. I don't know. Like mid Carter. That's probably correct. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. This is difficult. Just of the respect that I have for him from coming out and wrestling Jericho that one time, he gets elevated to mid Carter. I always thought he was boring otherwise. Ricochet. This might surprise some of you motherfuckers. Potentially great. Keep. I think Ricochet deserves a push. Ridge Holland, obviously, potentially great. Keep. Like, he's a keeper. Yeah. Rikishi. I mean, it is what it is. Rikishi would have been made a perfectly fine mid-carder. RVD, mid-carder. I never understood why they wanted RVD to be in the main event. I just never got it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Bobby Roode, potentially great. I would always have a spot in my roster. Bobby Roode. Roddy Piper, mid-carder. I never understood it, to be honest. Roman, obviously, superstar. Ronda Rousey and this broad, who must be Roxanne Perez. I don't give a shit about Ronda Rousey. Never liked her. She's good in the ring, but I just don't like her. And Roxanne Perez, if it weren't for the fact that this is in alphabetical order, I would not know who she is. So that's why she goes there. Sami Zayn, I mean, this guy sucks. Sandman, I like the Sandman, but he really is a jobber. I wouldn't keep him in the company because he's just not good, you know? So with all that being said, we've got who the hell's this guy? He must be one of those like Veer Mahan type motherfucks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who he is. I think he must be. He's got to be one of those guys, don't you think? Yeah, who is? I'm not sure who this fuck is, to be honest. Santos Escobar. Okay, so he must be Sangha. I can't tell if you because the Veer Mahan guy and the other guy have long hair, but you can't tell here. But he must be Sangha. This is Santos Escobar, who also should get fired immediately. And who the fuck is this? Must be Scarlett. Fire her immediately. She's done absolutely nothing. Obviously, Scott Hall. He gets to be in potentially great. Wait, what the fuck? How did Drew Gulak get here? He needs to be here. I must have been some sort of mistake dragging it. Scott Steiner, like one of my personal favorites, but not this Scott Steiner. This Scott Steiner needs to go here. I never liked this Scott Steiner. He always felt like he was second to Rick. Script goes here. This must be Sherry. I don't care at all. Seth Rollins, like right after the Shield, Seth Rollins, mid-carder. The current Seth Rollins, I also think should be a mid-carder. You know, see, that's what I'm saying. Like people might look at this and be like, "Well, why is Randy Orton so low?" And it's like, "Well, look at where he is compared to Seth Rollins." You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be real. Shane, I love Shane, man. Like, I can't put him as a superstar though, but I do give a lot of respect to Shane. Fuck. No, you know what? He's gonna be a superstar because as a wrestling character, Shane McMahon was awesome, right? He would have matches and he would do crazy shit and he would just put himself on the line. So I have a lot of respect for Shane. But actually, he needs to go to potentially great because I don't have a lot of respect for his like last run. I thought it was horrible. Where all of a sudden now Shane went from like being a pussy to being this like tough guy who does like MMA and shit. And it's like he's having competitive matches with Miz and The Undertaker. So he needs to go down one notch. One person that won't be on this list is Vince McMahon, who obviously would be a superstar, right? The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, obviously superstar city. You know what I'm saying? I put all these guys here, all the superstars here. Should be a good little guide for everybody to look at. You know what I'm saying? If they want to play the game too, up in this bitch. HBK. Shayna Baszler fired immediately. Sheamus. At this point, you can say whatever the fuck you want. Sheamus is a superstar. Sheamus has a Hall of Fame career, and he's like one of the ones that actually does have it. He's had a million opportunities, fired immediately. I don't know who that is. It must be Shotzi. Give a shit. Sol Sikoa. I hate to do it. Fired immediately. He doesn't add anything. You know? Who's this? Sonya Deville. She's never has done anything yet. Stacy Keibler. She's a very attractive woman, but she doesn't do anything, so fire her immediately. Stardust. I can't believe he even had a job. Stephanie McMahon. Definitely potential to be great. See, she belongs with Shane. Stone Cold. I don't want to be like a fucking smark and be like Stone Cold mid-carder. Absolutely not. But like he's gonna go to superstar because there's just no way around it, right? But if I had my way, he would be the lowest ranked out of all these guys. Like I don't like Stone Cold that much. I was more of a Rock guy. So there you have it. This is superstar Billy Graham. Don't know anything about him, so he goes here. Expert. Potential to be great for sure. Tamina fired. $1 million mullet talking Ted DiBiase. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a superstar. I love Ted DiBiase. This is Tegan Knox, who I actually am angry that she still has a job in this company. I think she got fired recently, actually. I don't know. Terry Funk. Terry Funk has to be like a mid carder. Like he never should have been a believable main eventer of any sort. The Fiend is a mid card gimmick. Like the Fiend is less than Bray Wyatt, according to me. This must be the Great Muta. The Great Muta is awesome, but yeah, he's a superstar. He's a legend. Like Great Muta has invented like 15 moves that are relevant today. The Hurricane. I'm going to put him at potentially great because of the Gregory Helms run. But the Hurricane himself as a character is obviously a mid carder. The Miz, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Superstar, bitch. Deal with it. The Rock, obviously. Like, this is an easy one. Superstar. This is Thea Hale. I actually recognize her. Fire her ass. Tiffany Stratton. All right. Tiffany Stratton, potentially great. I mean, it's got to be sound like it is. Tiffany Stratton, there's something there. I like her. Tommaso Ciampa, fire immediately. Tony D'Angelo, like I actually think that Channing Stacks Lorenzo is the true star. So he needs to go here. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. He looks too generic. Trick Williams can be a solid mid carder, no doubt. Triple H, again, I don't know. This is a difficult one. Fuck. Man, it's just hard to like say that R-Truth is and Triple H isn't. He has to go there, unfortunately. You know, fuck. If there was a way, like these other Triple H's, like these guys are potentially great because they're still whatever. Fuck it. Let's be consistent, right? We're not gonna like it's just Triple H with a different haircut, but long hair like 2002 Triple H is the goat of Triple H's, and these other ones are kind of like mid carders, but whatever. Trish, obviously, like this is a no brainer. Superstar. Tyler Bate, go away. Tyler Breeze, go away. The Ultimate Warrior. I love the Ultimate Warrior. He embodies everything that's great about wrestling. Umaga. He was a decent mid-carder. Uncle Howdy, this is just embarrassing at this point. The Undertaker, player. Oh, they got a lot of Undertakers up in this bitch. Obviously, Undertaker's a superstar. You got to put them all up there. And as an added bonus, once I drag all these takers up there, I'm going to like grade them and maybe put them in order here from most important taker to less important taker. That's only going to apply for the Undertakers because there's just like, there's so much versatility. So let's see if first we can identify the Undertaker. So we've got American Badass. We've got like, you know, the guy that lost to Brock Lesnar. And we have one of these guys is like, this is like, I think the peak Undertaker, if you will, right? The one that was like beating Triple H and beating Shawn Michaels is this guy, Ministry of Darkness and American Badass. So in my personal opinion, the best one, we're going to go from lowest to highest. So the best one is what I call peak Undertaker. Then after that, I got to go with American Badass. I really like this Undertaker. Like basically when he came back after he was the American Badass and became the Undertaker again. This is like the catch-all current Undertaker. So this is the like I'll put him here. He sucks. He interfered at WrestleMania. That was stupid. And obviously Ministry of Darkness comes before this jobber, right? But this guy had some good matches. Yeah, he had like the match with Triple H and shit. Like it was pretty cool. Vader. I like Vader, but you know, he's not a legend. Valhalla, fired immediately. Veer Mahan. I don't know, man. Like Veer Mahan and Sangha. I can't, in good conscience, they have to at least go here. You know what I'm saying? Because they never really got a chance, right? They never had the opportunity to show what they're made for. This should have just been one massive category. There's really no distinction between these guys and these guys. Wade Barrett, overrated. He wasn't even a good mid-carder. Wendy Chu, bounce. Wesley, while I appreciate what he's done with what he's been given, he needs to go here. I'm sorry. Regal. Regal is like the quintessential mid-carder. Like, he was a great mid-carder. Wolfgang, jobber. What the fuck is this guy? What's after Wolfgang? What, Sean Waltman? I can't tell. So there's Wolfgang. What's after? Who the fuck's this guy? He had X-Pac. This must be X-Pac. And the other one must have been like 6 or something. Potentially great. Yeah, that must be 6. And this is X-Pac. There's no other explanation. Xavier Woods, bounce. Xia Li, bounce. Yokozuna. Yokozuna's a legend. I like Yokozuna. And, of course, Zelina Vega and Zoe whatever, bounce. And this has been it, motherfucks. This has been it. Now let's really do a nice quick analysis and see how many actual superstars there are, right? Because we're not gonna, some of these like we can't count. So we've got AJ Styles, he's for real, right? And then Batista, can I remove them? Batista doesn't count because he's not wrestling anymore. Beth Phoenix, like basically, let's just look at the people that count and put them in the front. So AJ, Braun Breaker, shit. Yeah. R-Truth. Who else we got here? That Rey Mysterio. I'll put only one of them just so we can count. Okay, Roman Reigns. We'll count them as still around. You know. To Sheamus. Miz. Actually, it's quite a lot. DiBiase. The Undertaker, like, you know, would anyone really be surprised if The Undertaker came back for a match like in Saudi Arabia or something? No. So we're going to put him here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 if you don't count Undertaker. 8 if you count. I can't really count Undertaker. He is retired. So fuck that shit. So let's put Beth Phoenix here too as a placeholder. So we got AJ, Braun Breaker, R-Truth, Rey Mysterio, fucking Roman Reigns, Sheamus, and Miz. And let's be real. Sheamus, Miz, Rey, and R-Truth, and even AJ Styles, they're all on the way out. Like, realistically, they're not going to be here for in 5 years. I mean, Rey Mysterio might be because this guy's fucking immortal. Same with R-Truth. Same with all of them, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if they were still here in 5 years. But the majority of them are not going to be here. And the rest, everyone after Miz over here, is just like a legendary wrestler that's not around anymore. What the fuck? Oh, this is just, what the hell is this? How does she sneak in here? Hey, what the fuck is you, man? Just Chelsea Green or something? I don't know. Is she just another Charlotte? All right, if it's a Charlotte, we're going to leave her here. If it's somebody else, fuck that. You know, they don't count. But there you have it, motherfuckers. This has been the tier list. Let's quickly look at the mid-carders. I think we have a pretty solid mid-card here. Tozawa, Apollo, Lashley, Bray Wyatt, and his 19 virgins. British Bulldog, Cameron Grimes, Dexter Lumis on the other side, fucking Chad Gable, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, Prime Cody Rhodes, Cruz Del Toro, Damian Priest, DDP. This was like our mid-card. Fucking Dominic, Farouk. You get my point. Then we've got like the mid-carders that we would keep. They're like, if I were booking the show, they would be like a little bit lower than these people. So they'd be like kind of like where they are now. You know what I mean? Like, so for example, if you have like the Boogeyman come back, like the Boogeyman might beat like fucking, you know, like he might beat like fucking Joaquin Wilde in a match, right? Like, but that's where he would be in the card. Braun Strowman, like you could keep him, but he's never going to be a star. Cucky and CM Punk, they should be like mid. This is like basically the people that are wrestling for the Intercontinental title with these people. But these people are the challengers, and these people are the champions most of the time. And maybe some of these people can become world champions, right? And this is just people that should be world champions. And there you have it, motherfuckers. That's been that. Obviously, the majority of the people fell into the jobber fire immediately category. But what can you do? And with that being said, motherfuckers, this has been the Prime Time Roster Review. I know this video took a fucking eternity, but what can you do up in this bitch? You know what I'm saying?